other deck profile with the winner of the level, is it level 1?
Level 1, yeah.
Level 1 gaming. Level 1 gaming case tournament, Lake Charles. Go check them out. The man with the winner is
Kobe Short.
no surprise. I kind of frequent on this channel.
Yeah, I tried it.
And
I played a very boring deck, I'm not gonna lie. I'm only doing this profile because we need 10 minutes of content, so.
True.
First shout out. I'm gonna do shout outs at the end, but shout out to Sarah Palin, she held it down.
oh, the lady.
Yeah, she knows. Just get straight into it.
Alright, for sure.
So I played Diva. This is my normal summon of choice. I didn't really want to play it. I wanted to play Beaver instead because there's really no benefit to playing this card except like you could do this like fiber play that adds a hand trap to your hand, but like it doesn't come up that much. It was okay. Like I did the hand trap thing like twice, and every time like it was really cool. Like post side, there's another hand trap that you can search versus like tier limit. That's really good. But this is okay. Just Gamma's not really in the format right now because it doesn't really do much against tier. So like, just no fear. Just normal summon effect.
Understandable.
Best engine, swap Ronin. No dupe because Super Poly. Everyone, like, it's a local tournament, so people are just gonna net deck like topping deck lists, and Super Poly's been in everyone's deck. I wasn't really trying to take a chance.
That's fair enough.
And then Sprite engine, I played a really big Sprite engine. Most people play 9, I played 11. So standard. This is standard for the most part, right? So I'm not really going to talk about this.
Okay.
Everyone should know like what these Sprite cards do. They're probably the second best deck in the format. This is to play around your opponent going like normal summon monster, battle phase, attack elf, and then Super Poly with your Toad and the Dude into kit, and then just combo you. This beats the normal summon and basically skips their battle phase. This also helps you beat over stuff like Zeus, because this deck kind of has a problem with just clearing big dudes. This card is really good. And then the third red, because other than Diva, which like whichever normal summon package you play, other than that one, this is the best normal summon in the deck. And with the runic cards being released, you really don't want them to banish all 3 of your reds early. Like if you play 2, you don't want them to banish both of your reds early. Because this card's still really good against the runic deck. But my runic matchup round 1, the dude, his first activation of a runic spell banished all 3 of these. Well, all 4 of these off the top of my deck. Somehow I won that game. Shout out to that guy for not playing well, but good guy.
Okay.
I played a lot of hand traps. Played these 16.
That is a good bit.
I understand that you should probably just play 17. This deck's 42 cards. It's kind of like a philosophy in the game now that I don't think 40 cards is the correct number anymore. I don't think it has been for a while. I don't think it really ever has been. I think we've been playing 40 cards for the sake of playing. Like, that is the bare minimum that you can play, but now I don't think we have enough good cards in the game now to justify not playing 40 anymore. Because the correct number used to be like 35, 36 cards, and then you play like upstarts and a bad card, like Garnet or something. But now, like, you have enough good cards to make this deck make any deck over 40, and it still functions because every card does the same thing. This was in the side deck as a 3 of, but then with the way I side, I had to side deck an extra deck monster, and because I really wanted to play Sky Cavalry, I figured that card would just come up at least once in the tournament. I'd be sad if I didn't have it. So I put the extra deck card in the side deck and put this in the main deck. Because this functions against tier, it functions okay against Sprite, and it's really good against Math Mech. And it's a hand trap that you can search off Fiber if you do that play. This card overperformed. Yeah, this card was really good. There was like a cool line that you could do with a starter. Where like your opponent like does like whatever because you're playing Sprite, they could just like out body you with big dudes. So then you just like have your starter set, and then you go like Nib Chain Link 1, Starter Chain Link 2, Starter Summon like Carrot from the deck or something like weak, and then it'll die because of Nib, but since you're locked in level 2s, Nib just clears the board, stays in your hand, no one gets a token. So you can just have this Nib forever, and just the threat of Nib every turn kind of matters a lot, and this combos well with every single hand trap in the game because everyone kind of just forgets this card exists. It was really good. This card is really good.
How did you feel about it during like your tournament matches?
It was crazy against tier too, because like they would just like summon a bunch of dudes for no reason. Like they don't understand that you don't have to do much to beat the Sprite deck. All you have to do is put up 2 monsters over 2,000 attack, and we cannot out it. Like, it's hard, dude. So they would just, like, summon Curious and summon everything, like, use all their tier effects, and I'm like, alright, cool, Nib, clear your whole board, and then Curious that back, and I'm like, okay, cool, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're adding back, you can't fusion summon again, so next turn, like, I have a dude, so any level 2 in my hand now does full combo, and this dude's huge, where the Sprite deck just has a problem dealing damage. He's 3,000 of it. That's almost half your life. Like, this card is really good. Every time I drew it, it was a good card. And then for spells, I played Starter and Smashers, standard. You can play multiple of this. You can side one because it's like a searchable mine out, but I didn't really feel the need for it. Maybe going forward, you could do it because if Runic actually becomes like a big deck, you don't want this to get banished like ever. But you just prioritize Search and Smashers. Call by should be banned. Kind of wish I didn't play it, but it's a good card, I guess.
Understandable.
And then I played these. Don't laugh, I know there's one. I think every brick hand in this deck is almost at fault to this card, but I didn't want this card not to be in my deck anywhere because it's just so high impact. It's just like tier doesn't play enough hand traps to ever like actually balance them. If they're like gonna be bad and just have this on the first effect that you did, shout out to Chuck, he did it every game, and this saw his hand almost every game. But like you're never really gonna resolve this as more of a going second card, and I was gonna play 3 Prosperity, but I actually think this card's like slightly better than Prosperity in this deck, just with the way like your extra deck is. Your extra deck, if you play this deck like a toolbox with your extra deck, you kind of need all your cards. The only downside to Desires is sometimes you banish this card. Like a lot of times you don't have to activate this before this is in, like before this is out of the deck. So it's still fine. This card is really good. Can't really complain. One game it banished 3 Swap Frogs, Drew Ronin Tonin, and I was like, alright, whatever. Still won, but it was okay. This card was good every time I drew it, except the one hand that it bricked me in. Whatever. The main deck's 42. I think you could play anywhere from like 40 to 45 in this, and it'll function the exact same. You just have to add more hand traps the higher count you go. But you still need to open a lot of hand traps. Side deck, shout out to the Hotel Squad. Extra deck, 2 Gigantic. This is standard Toad, Onibimaru. This card is cool. It's a good way to out like big monsters. Like sometimes when you nib them and their tokens like Gigantic, you can just banish the token and it'll never come back. Also, it works like if you get cherried on your elf, this card can put back all your elves back into your deck. This card's kind of good. This, kind of wish I didn't play this. It rarely ever comes up. Zeus is good still, obviously, because this is an Exceed deck. Sky Cavalry won me a game. This could have been the Link 5, this could have been the Link 5. Something should have been the Link 5. I think the card was really needed. Ran into a lot of spots where like my IP just sucked because like I'm summoning Unicorn, and Unicorn's not really threatening because like who cares if you unicorn something, but if you like link something away and then the Link 5 negates your whole board and then negates a dude in the graves, like that game's just over. And the 3,000 attack actually just does matter.
There's a lot of body.
2 elf. Kind of want to play 3 of this, but
Space issues?
yeah, a little bit. Honestly, I liked every card in the extra deck except this Downer, but I still think this should have been with like 5 before this. If you just don't play like an idiot, you rarely ever need 3, but sometimes like you play a really long grind game. Like if both of you don't suck with this deck, you play a really long time. Just because you're just trading resources and you have to. This is like a very skill intensive mirror match. So that would come up, but like I don't know. If you just play better than your opponent, it's really hard to need 3. Charmers, this card still overperforms. I don't know why people still don't really play this often. Like sometimes like you can play into the mirror and like you can't kill them because it's really hard to kill into a board. Like you can end with their Toad off of this and then your Toad. So you have 2 negates and then your elf is also gonna summon this back, so you have another negate versus like 2 cards. Like it's just so value. This can also search like Swap Frog and Diva. I did that a couple times where like you just when you play into negates like Dragostapelia, you can summon these guys and these will always force a negate, right? Because like they don't want you to steal their card and then link climb or whatever you're doing. So you just use these to bait out cards, and then the last one, whichever one you prioritize to be the last one, whenever that one sticks, that one's going to be the high impact, like steal, and then you just kill them with their cards. IP, this card was good. Fiber, if you don't play Diva, don't play this card. You really don't even have to play this card. It's okay.
It was just there for like searching out the hand traps and then bouncing them.
Yeah, that came up like twice, but I mean like it was cool. I'll show you post side. It was really cool post side, but I was doing it. It's tier limit, but other than that, this card was okay. And these utility cards, Alta Floodgates, and this is your thing to summon off of IP. Sometimes you summon this off of IP, but kind of wish I played the Link 5 because my extra deck caps out at like 2200. So, side deck. This is like the only interesting part of my deck, kind of. I was a scumbag. Played this for time. I did this to one person. I'm sorry, but he just took too long to play. Honestly. Also, every game that I sided this card, I opened it. He's supposed to stay in the deck. I really don't want to see this card ever, but he's cool. He's a dude. He has like a wand thing, whatever he's got going on. 2 more bells to match the 3rd one because the Mathmat deck is actually scary. Math, learn calculus. I did this. This was post side, so like against tier limit, you can do this cool thing where like you Hulk summon this, and you bounce this to your hand, and now you can hit their kit, and they can just never really get started.
Oh, that's dirty.
Yeah, this card was really good. Every time I drew it, it was really good. This was cool. I was gonna play this in my extra deck, but then like I didn't want to side this card. So I was like, I'll just main this, side this, and they'll just know every time I'm putting in one of these, I'm either putting in something like Super Poly or this card. Every time this resolved, it caught my opponent off guard. I don't know why. I feel like people should know about that by now. I was afraid of that Mystic Mine deck.
Yeah.
Because if I played only one of these and then they got Curse Sealed, and that was my only out to Mystic Mine, I would have been a little upset. Luckily, that deck doesn't exist, and good reasons. Post side, you have 6 cards for back row, which I think is just enough. These are all really good. This one's really good against Runic. This one's good against like everything. God card, ban it, please. And my floodgate of choice was this one because people are dumb and just play a bunch of board breaker cards when you should be playing hand traps. And you just anti-spell them with your board of like a 14. Whenever you draw an anti-spell, you make this because this can't get super polyed into anything, and then you flip anti-spell. So now they can never super poly you because next turn they're just dead. They can't activate like the Tear Field spell. They have to activate starter right then and there, and you just take their starter if you want. They can't smashers this. They can't do really anything. It can't dark rule you because that card's slow. Nobody plays Droplet. This card is really good. This card won me 3 games, I think. Very good card. You can play like a pointer, but a pointer still loses to Super Poly most of the time. And I don't like paying life that much with this deck because you're already paying life and people don't know when to concede against this deck. So you do go to time sometimes. That's also why this dumb card's in here. Yeah, that was cool. I went X1 in Swiss, lost to Earth Machines because their monsters are bigger than mine. He also like 6-card comboed me. Weird.
That's a lot of body. That's a lot of body on those monsters.
Yeah, like I anti-spelled him, and the only spell card in his hand was Urgent Schedule. And he DD crowed me on my turn and his turn, and then had like Gear Frame and dudes to just kill me. And then I went X1 in Swiss. Oh, X1 won. I tied against Tier Limit. And then one out in Top Cut. That was cool. Cool tournament experience. I like the shop.
Okay.
That was a grand opening. It was pretty cool. Gift shout outs. Shout out to 10 Million Gaming. My sponsor was supposed to come with me, but then he bailed on me. Shout out to Luck&Chuck, y'all subscribe or something. Yeah, this is probably the most boring deck I've played all in my life.
Really?
But, yeah. It was cool. I like summoning Sprite Blue. Card's cool.
Alright.
He's ripped out.
Any like changes you would make to the deck? Anything like that? No.
To this variant, probably not. This would be Beaver, and then I'd probably cut Viper from my extra deck. But like, it was cool. Beaver doesn't come foil either, so.
That is a factor. That is a problem factor.
Yeah, that was it. Alright.
All right, I appreciate you, Kobe. All right.